Hey guys, welcome to episode 119 of the Gen Z podcast. I wanted to do a solo podcast today, another solo episode. I'm going to try and throw these in every once in a while. And I apologize now that I have these podcast episodes on YouTube. I love my glasses. I love wearing glasses and I don't have enough light in my office. And so I have to use my ring light and I feel it's obnoxious in my frames. But I have to sport my new Gucci glasses that I got from Expert Family Eye Care. I had Dr. Veronica on a few episodes ago, but when we were back in Chicago, I went in to visit. Their location is in Lincolnshire, Illinois, and I picked up a pair of nice Gucci frames, so I have to sport them. So I apologize if you're watching this episode on YouTube. I'm sorry, you're gonna see the glare. It drives me crazy, but I love my glasses. But today's episode, I wanted to talk about how to handle your hustle. A friend of mine, many years ago, we both wanted to write a book about this because she was a, busy mom, had a career. I being an entrepreneur for 15 years now, super busy, juggling multiple different jobs and careers, but kind of all in one. So we really felt that we could help people because we were both super organized individuals. I like to say that. And so you guys have heard me probably talk about this before, but I feel like lately it's been one of the biggest struggles with some of my clients, not only for fitness, but nutrition, just self-care in general, is to really focus on themselves and organize the time to be able to, dedicate the time to their goals. So they're having trouble struggling with dedicating time for themselves, finding it in their schedule. They're like, Jen, how do I do this? My family comes first, my kids come first. I have a crazy job. I don't have the flexibility like some people may, especially kind of post-COVID where people were able to work from home and may not have to go into the office. But just everybody's busy. And even with that, it's like you feel like you're working so many hours of the day. So I think that's kind of one of the struggles that a lot of people have been going through is how am I supposed to fit time in for myself and achieve my goals when my schedule's crazy? And I feel, yeah. And I'm going to tell you because I try and post about this and, I have my blogs that come out on Fridays and I try and be as authentic and real as I can and possible. So you guys, to the point you guys don't get sick of me, hopefully. But I, reached a point a few weeks ago where I didn't have a day off. It was probably like 2 weeks. And typically, so Jay and I really only have Sundays off. And that's sometimes. Sometimes I'm still working on Sundays or I have jujitsu events that we've scheduled. I'm having an upcoming ladies jujitsu jam that I'm hosting with my friend Maya. That's going to be on a Sunday. Sunday also is the day where if we don't get to catch up on computer work or kind of, working on our computers, trying to catch up for the week, the week past and then the week ahead, getting prepared. So it's not necessarily like a full-on day off. And I had 2 weeks where I really hadn't had a day off. And it was a Saturday afternoon and I had come home from the gym and it was just an extra long day at the gym. I felt like, everybody at that moment like needed to talk to me. Like there were so many last minute things. It was like as if they knew in like an hour it was finally going to be like my afternoon leading into day off after this 2 weeks of craziness. And we had people working in the house and just so much kind of going on that made our schedules even crazier. So, I reached a point when I got home, Jay was here. We didn't have the girls that weekend. I literally just wanted to crumple to the ground. And as amazing Jay is, he, took my gear bag from me and he's like, why don't you take a shower and let's put on a meditation? And I was like, oh my God, you're amazing. And Jay will admit he would never in his life have ever probably thought he would say something like that. But he's like, that's you rubbing off on me. And that's what you do for your clients. And I'm doing that for you because you need this time. So I got cleaned up. We put on a YouTube like yoga nidra meditation and just relaxed. And I was probably out for a while. It was really probably more of a nap than a meditation. But it's important, I think, especially when you start feeling yourself like that. I think we're used to so much stress, in our society. It's normal, and we do want to hustle constantly. And I kind of felt during COVID that was a big reset. And I think we were able to kind of reprioritize a little bit and wanted to step back from that hustle. And I kind of made that commitment to myself. I was really going to focus on the things I wanted to. I kind of evolved my business a little bit more. I created my Body by Zenati app, so that was a little bit more less one-on-one. But then moving out here, I'm pretty much running and managing the gym and still seeing one-on-one clients, and I still have my Body by Zenati app. And now I've launched my new Patreon, so that's all content-based. So I almost feel like I'm doing things to get away from the one-on-one stuff, but in the meantime, it feels like I'm hustling even more than I wanted to, and I had set this goal for myself. But when we look at it, it's all stuff that I really love doing, right? And I want to be able to help energize and empower people to live their best lives. You guys have heard me say that over and over. That's always my mission with everything. But how do I do that if I don't feel like I'm giving myself that energy and love, right? So I need to take some time to be able to restore my energy. And I think that's the point, that working with my clients, we all have some type of hustle, okay? And it's kind of not realistic to not expect to have that. We have so many things going on. And I think it's important that we really take a look at, for me, it's my calendar. I always dedicate some time to myself, or I at least know there's an end goal. Like, okay, I've got to get through this 2 weeks. Maybe I'm not going to have this day off. So I need to find little pockets of time. Maybe it's even 10 minutes where I can meditate, where I can go for a walk, where I can just not focus on anything and sit. Maybe I need to take a 20-minute nap. Whatever it may be, I can journal. I can write a list of stuff to kind of prioritize what needs to happen today, the next few days to get me through this week. I find that to be super, super helpful. I'm a list person. I have my, those of you watching can see, like, I've got my desk planner here. I love making notes. I also have my work calendar. I've got my Google Calendar that Jay and I share, and then, a personal calendar. So I love lists and calendars, but I feel like when you plan in and schedule in time for you, just like anything else, you accomplish those things that are on your calendar. You have that time slot. So you need to be proactive and work that time in for you. And, like I said, even if it's 10 minutes a day adds up. If you're doing that 7 days a week, that's 70 minutes a week. Okay, over a month, that's a lot of time, right? So if it's kind of committing to yourself to have time to kind of relax and re-energize, if it's towards a goal or getting in a workout, listen, I even have, on my BBZ app, I have 10-minute workouts for people to do, because I know people's schedules are crazy. And that's one of the questions I ask people when they join the program. What days do you have to work out? How many days in the week? What days in particular? And how much time do you have? Because some days during the week, it might be a 10-minute workout. And then on the weekends, you can do a 30-minute to an hour workout, right? But as long as we're really putting in the work for that 10 minutes, that's going to make such a huge impact. So dedicating that time, like I said, consistently really adds up and builds up over time. So if it's, putting that time into a goal, whatever it may be, or that kind of restorative time, if it's food prep, if it's taking time to log your food, so that you can kind of be accountable and see if you're tracking, where you're at, if it's time to play with your kids, if it's time to read a book, if it's time to catch up with a friend, whatever it may be, it's important that you schedule that time. And I think that's made the biggest impact to keep me pretty much as sane as possible because our lives do get crazy. So, being able to take a little bit of control in that hustle, in that chaos, I think organization and organizing your calendar is a way that you can do that. So, I hope that's really helpful to you guys. I'm always open to people if they want to reach out and email me or message me. I always do a 20-minute free consultation. So if you need some help and you're like, Jen, I just need to organize my life. What do you suggest? Give me some tidbits. And I also do one-on-one sessions for that. Like I said, trying to, step away from that as much as possible, but that's still part of my practice and what I'm doing. So anything you guys need to kind of be able to help you achieve your goals, I'm there for you. But I really think, now is the time, and especially as we kind of get into spring, I think there's a little bit of a new energy. But there was a time a few weeks ago that I felt like it was just this really, really heavy energy that was like so much was going on, and it was a little chaotic and it felt a little heavy. And then we were kind of transitioning into spring. So kind of coming into that change and that new season, I think then we get a little bit of a sense of renewal where it's like, okay, I feel like I have energy to tackle this or that. So utilize that. You want to be able to kind of look with fresh eyes and like fresh energy to be able to see what goals do I kind of want to work on now. This is a new season. What's the priority at this time in my life? And just like I'm saying, taking time each day, you really want to be able to kind of break your year up too. So we can look at the year ahead. We can look at a 5-year plan. But I think if you break it up kind of quarterly or seasonally, what is it that I really need to work on now? What's the priority? What are the goals that I have ahead? Is this something that can wait till the fall? Is this something that can wait till the winter? If it's different projects, if it's different goals for weight loss or health, maybe you have a lot of people have a lot of events in the summertime. So of course they're like, Jen, come spring, I need to lose 20 pounds in the next 2 months. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know if that's a realistic goal for you, but let's kind of take a look and start getting you on that path. Maybe you're not going to lose 20 pounds in 2 months. Maybe it's going to be 4 months in a, healthier fashion, but you're making and creating that change. So I think definitely kind of breaking up your goals a little bit so that you don't feel so overwhelmed is also something that's really important. So taking kind of that, snapshot of, okay, this is what I want the year ahead to kind of look like, and then break it up by quarters or seasons, and then break it up per month, and then break it up per week, and then break it up per day. I think if you work backwards like that, then you're actually taking the time to understand what are the things that I need to do each day to fulfill this goal for the week. Okay, and what do I need to make sure I accomplish each week to tackle my goal for the month, so on and so forth. I think if we do that, then it's so much easier for us to get that clear picture of what we need to do. And let me tell you, there's so much wasted time, and this is why I also think it's important to open up your calendar and put in that you time, because let's be real, how much time can you save scrolling on your phone or binging Netflix, right? And I'm not saying some of those things may be part of your self-care. Some of those you might need a little bit of a break, and you're like, I'm gonna watch, a show tonight. That's my relaxation, downtime, unwinding. But maybe it's 1 show versus 3, right? Because we want to make sure we're well rested, we get our sleep so that we can achieve these goals as well. I'm circling it back to everything, right? You need good sleep, lots of water, good nutrition, movement to make sure you're your best self. You want to be the best version of yourself to be able to handle your hustle and help everybody else in your life. You need to take care of you. So maybe you can make some modifications somewhere where it's still maybe part of your downtime, but instead of 3 hours, it's only 1 hour. And then you all of a sudden have 2 extra hours to be able to put towards your goal, or maybe going for a walk outside after dinner, or, reading the book that you've wanted to finish for God knows how long. So I hope that all makes sense. I really want to help you guys succeed. And I think that's one of the biggest things is when we don't have a plan in place or that schedule kind of set, then it's really difficult to kind of achieve those goals because we have this extra time that might end up being wasted. And I'm not saying that you can't just do things spur of the moment. I do that, but I kind of set up that time, right? I'm so organized. Just ask Jay. It's like everything has to be scheduled. But then the time to just be able to have fun, that's scheduled in there. So make sure you're allowing all those things for yourself. But the intention is that we want to be able to achieve the things that we need to in our life. So we have to set ourselves up for success, and preparation is key. So I hope you guys find this helpful. I'll continue talking about this. I'll probably have some more blogs about this, but I didn't want to talk your ear off too much. Just sending you a little bit of love and tips on how to handle your hustle. Continue in the next few weeks with some more awesome guests. And I'm so excited. If you guys haven't checked out my Patreon yet, please do so. It's patreon.com. You can go to All Things Gen Z, and I have all different content levels. So it starts with Spark, which is just a little bit of Gen Z, to Surge, which is even a little bit extra, and then you have Supreme, which is the most of me. Sending content your way to really help you guys live your best life. And it's everything, including fitness, nutrition, mindfulness, motivation, empowerment, life coaching, everything. Okay. Any questions you guys ever have. And I do a lot of live Q&As and live empowerment sessions too, which is fun. So you get to ask me whatever you want. But I hope you are all doing well. Any guests that you would love me to have on my podcast, please. I love referrals. So you can send me a message on my Instagram at All Things Gen Z. And I look forward to talking to you guys soon. Have a great day. Bye.